Okay, I'm aware that the last few videos were rough, right? And I was really embarrassed about them, and so I like had uploaded them and then I privatized them because I didn't want anybody to see me being all shitty. But I'm really trying to stop being that way because, like I keep saying, even in the videos, it's more important that I'm just honest. So, like, being embarrassed is part of things. As much as I struggle because I want to always make a good impression, I care very much that people see the best out of the sense of trying to encourage people for the best, right? But I realize that the censorship on my own part has this way of making it appear that this walk, this path, this journey, this process is far easier than it really is, or even somehow less human. You know, like being human is all encompassing, and you know, it's very like it's not just the perfectionism, it's like this moralistic, like what's the word I'm thinking of? Not conservative. Puritan. It's like a Puritan way of being that I don't even agree with, and I don't want to be that way, and I certainly don't want to express that is the ideal, and that's kind of how it happens, right? It's fine for me to be a stoic. It's fine for me to have certain moral standards. Like, I'm not speaking against those things, but to portray them as if those are the ideal is extremely misleading, ultimately, when I don't even feel that way. And, like, even today, I was blessed to be able to go through just a bunch of, like, my art, and like I'm looking at it like, oh geez, like, you know, so much of it, like it just comes right out of me, right? Like, I'm not necessarily thinking of it. The best art that I've made is stuff that, like, I really wasn't thinking much about. I just put it out on paper because it was coming out of my soul. But those are the things that I end up taking a lot of, like, embarrassment from, in a way, or like a judgment towards, because they reflect that in me, and I assume that others can receive that, and those are the ones that tend to be like really dark, really twisted, really weird, really like esoteric and stuff that I just know, like, a lot of people can take a lot of different ways, which means that I'm not in control. You know, when the things come right from me, truly. And it's a problem that I constantly feel like I have to be in control. And I don't want to do that. I don't want these gifts of mine to be extended to others as a means to control the narrative. That's not what I'm trying to do. Hell, even as a writer, I'm not trying to control the narrative. I just have this tendency to, because of the way that I've been trained to. And I'm really trying to move away from that and trying to just let this energy flow freely. And even right now, as I'm thinking of it, you know, I'm being reminded that, like, oftentimes that's, you know, when you say something that you didn't mean to say. Those are the things that are coming straight from your heart, and, like, maybe you don't mean them to come across the way that they do, but, like, they're a truer reflection of really where you're coming from. And it's one of those things where, like, in those ways, I think it's better to apologize than to ask for permission. I don't normally like that statement, because people will use that to be like, oh, I can just totally use people however I want to and do whatever the fuck I want at everybody else's expense, and then just apologize for it later, and then just be, like, flippantly apologetic because it's better that than having to ask permission. Where it's like, that concept is not made so that you can do whatever you want in regards to other people's lives and be a controlling fucking asshole that way and just be manipulative. It's actually the opposite. It's supposed to be so that you're not being a controlling, manipulative asshole. It's so that you can just be free to be yourself. And if people don't like it, you can be like, okay, sorry, I can understand that isn't your thing. I didn't mean it to come across that way, but, I've just been feeling these types of things. Like, whatever it is, but it's better to be honest, right? I've struggled with this for my entire life. I'm trying to come to it more and more. And I'm so thankful and blessed to be surrounded right now with people that are a very good reflection of those things. I say surrounded. I generally still try to isolate, but I have the privilege of being able to interact and surround myself at times with people who, yes, are reflecting those things for me and are in that same position. And everything is always a matter of perspective. It's very easy to fall into victim mentalities, no matter how far you've come away from them, no matter how much I work against codependence. In fact, often a lot of the working against something keeps you close to it. You know what I mean? Like, if you really could just let it go, you wouldn't even think about it anymore. It wouldn't even be a part of you anymore. But so often in our attempts to fight off something, we're keeping it at arm's length instead of just letting it go. We're keeping it close, not even at arm's length, not even this far. We're keeping it close enough that we can actually hit it, and like, it's reasonable, but at the same time, it's reasonable consciously, but in the subconscious, when we're a little more removed from that surface level experience, we can realize that those things aren't truly serving us. It's not really serving me to sit here and beat up somebody that I don't, somebody, something, some idea that I don't even want to affiliate with, right? And it goes into the mindset of like, I don't want to give power to demonic concepts because I don't believe in those things. I believe all things are good to those that love good. So I can't say that and then validate some sort of things are evil. I'm a victim of this. I'm hurt by this. No, I'm human. I have feelings. I have to allow myself to go through the process, right? The difference of where I am today, like you saw me getting my energy pulled and lowering down to a point within the last 3 videos. You can actually watch it, this digression. But that was necessary for me to express openly and honestly in order to get back to where I'm at. And that's because otherwise I would have just been suppressing that and not letting it out. Sometimes you need to let things out. That's what's so beautiful about art, music, dance, all of these forms of expression. Being able to give into the animal of the person, being able to give into the carnality of an individual, being able to give into the core aspect of connectivity with all of our experience, instead of cherry picking what it is that we, in our own sense of perfectionism, are willing to accept or not. That's not, love is to accept all without demand, right? So if we truly loved ourselves, we wouldn't be putting these standards on ourselves of perfection. We could just be. And that's something I consistently struggle with. And you can see that especially in the last videos, you can see that coming out where it's not something I'm generally expressing. I'm always trying to keep myself up here, but right under that surface is this constant nagging of, you're not doing it good enough. You're not good enough for this position, for this, gift you're trying to give people, for this, your skills aren't like this, whatever it is. Or even if it's just, nobody understands, nobody cares, there's nobody receiving it properly, I'm not receiving the proper value or reward for those things, whatever crazy illusionary concept is adding into it, the truth of the matter is that we are always all things, and that our capacity to be able to actively be is moving through all of those everythings. And it's what we choose to focus on in those spaces that cater to whatever ever is going on. You know, when I'm in those shitty feelings, I end up beating myself up because I'm aware of that, and then I end up just like manifesting more shitty situations. And then I'm like, oh, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be doing that. So then I'm like trying to fight being in that negativity, where really, if I would just let myself have that little moment to just like say the shitty thing, feel the shitty way, be however it is that I am. If I have shit in my heart, if I have shit in my soul, it's best to get it out instead of trying to hide it in there and be like, no, that's not shit. Let's just cover it in gold. And that way nobody will know that it's shit underneath. Where it's like, that's not helpful. You can have gold-plated shit and like, that's not the ideal. Maybe for some people. Maybe for some people. Everything serves a purpose, I suppose. But I want those things to be what they are. I don't want to, if everybody knows that it's gold-plated shit, so be it. So be it, that's great. At least we're being honest, right? But I don't want to be giving people something that appears to be gold when really there's shit right under the surface that I'm not letting out, that I'm not expressing, that I'm not being honest about. That's about the shittiest thing you could possibly ever do. It's better just to hand people a pile of shit. Because at least then they can be resourceful with it, or at least then they can know how you really feel, you know? So I struggle with that. I do struggle with the people pleasing. I do struggle with the, with, you know, feeling any type of way and then letting myself just feel those ways. That's why it got so, and you can see it. You can see the confusion. You can see the frustration. I don't know. I didn't rewatch them because they're embarrassing, but I felt it, and I've been feeling it for the last couple days. But I determined last night that I wasn't going to let those things get to me that way. And I just forced through it. I got rest. And then I woke up this morning and let myself do my stretches, which I haven't been doing consistently, but I let myself literally just like spend time in meditation. Okay, to be honest, I woke up a little early and then during my stretches just sat there and wept. I cried a while and I needed it. And then I did the things that I needed to do despite every fiber of my being like, I don't want to keep doing this. I don't want to keep doing this. I don't want this to be the way it is. And all I heard was that, I mean, I heard a lot of things, to be honest, but like generally that it was important that I just kept pushing forward and that I stopped worrying so much about what it looked like and that I just focused more on where my energy actually lies. And I already know how this is. I've already been through it a billion times. So you'd think it'd get easier, right? I'm here to say that it doesn't always get easier. You just get stronger. You get, you know, you go through the thing and you just get stronger and smarter and more capable. In fact, the stronger and more capable you become, often the harder things get. And that's fine too. That's almost to be expected, you know, but that's part of the fun. Like I keep saying, like that's the whole Mario thing. It's easy for me to talk about when I'm in such a high state of mind, but when I'm in my lows, it's like, yeah, but I don't even fucking like Mario, you know. It's real to go through those things, but it becomes very fake and very destructive to stay in those spaces. So as much as it's important to let yourself feel those things, it's also important to let those things go. And part of that process is feeling those, it's not just feeling those things, it's expressing those things in some way. The healthier way you can find to express those things, the better, so that you're not ending up creating more cycles that you have to come back from. And if you can be resourceful in that energy and create art or music or something like that out of it, some form of education, some form of experience, like, by all means, that's the greatest thing that you could do. But you're not wrong or bad or low or weak for just experiencing the highs and lows. That's real. That's what real is. And, you know, I've been fighting it, and that's why I was beating myself up so much, which you can see on those videos. But I'm going to stop doing that as much as possible now, because I don't deserve it. Okay, before I start this, I need to check my messages, so I'm going to pause this really quick, and I will be right back. Okay. I will get to those shortly. Okay. We're going to do these, and then we're going to clarify with the Hermetic deck. Quite a lot to say, okay. Let's see, how do these go? Silver. Gold. Okay, I'm getting a strange... Perfect. I will show you this. Can I set it up so that you can see it at least a little bit? No. No, because I'm taking up the entire... I'm gonna have to clean all this stuff. I started cleaning job and then immediately stopped cleaning my shit. Go figure. Okay. That's another thing I need to work on. You know, when I'm a caregiver, I suddenly have a really hard time caring for myself. Not a hard time, I do. I have a hard time caring for myself because I'm caring for somebody else, and I'll care for somebody else even better than I generally care for myself. No, I learned how to care for myself pretty okay now, but in caring for somebody else, like, it's only like I'm learning how to be able to care for so much at the same time, because, yeah. And the same thing, I started cleaning for other people and stopped cleaning for myself. I think it's common, but I can't make an excuse for it. I don't think it's the best thing. Okay, I know I'm at 5 of these. Thing going on here. Okay. That's 3, 4. One more. 5. Okay. All right. And okay, we're gonna make this a crazy thing. Oh geez. Oh geez. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be so crazy. Okay. Let me put these. Okay, I'm gonna put them like this because I am. All right, we have 5, so they're gonna go like. How are we doing this? Like this. I just got this weird feeling in my stomach. I want a single card from the Oracle. Nope. Just one, please. Let's shuffle these. Single Oracle card, please. I'm not looking at them. I'm not looking at anything space here. So yeah, normally it doesn't take me long to get back on top, but it is important that I let myself feel things, regardless of how low or shitty they feel. It's better not to hide, especially from myself, you know. Okay. This is insane. This is quite the setup. Okay. Can I turn this around? Hold on. No, that just took a picture. Okay. So this is what we have going on. Can we see all that? There's the oracle. And then there's those.